Hey Jesse, how's it going?
Good, good.
Hey, Coach Jeff was here yesterday saying, hey, yeah, they fully expect them to try to run after, the 174 last week. Where do you see in the Dolphins' run game?
Yeah, obviously last week is a similar scheme, similar background to where, they want to get their run game going. That's usually when they're having success is when their perimeter game is, rolling, and then they can come off with the play pass as well. I think last week was a little bit more downhill runs compared to this offense where a lot of it is, a lot of perimeter emphasis on the run game for sure.
Looking at Tua, what do you see there? I'll just see the numbers, 6 interceptions the last couple of games. Is he throwing it to them or they're tipping it up?
Yeah, I think that, Tua is a really good quarterback. Obviously, he's a high, processor, able to see things at a high level. But, I feel like once we take away, some of the first reads, I think he's the best when he's, in his rhythm. And, he does a hell of a job with all these different, ball movements and stuff like that. Fake the toss and then have a trap pass behind it. Just stuff like that that's just not normal that you see every single week. Obviously, a left-handed quarterback as well, so it's just a little bit different than a normal quarterback. But, he's definitely a good quarterback, no doubt.
How big of a loss is it for you all to lose Devon, and how did JD do? I guess it's going to be a committee trying to...
Yeah, I didn't even know, honestly, that Devon was hurt. I think he probably stayed in there for another series after he found out that his forearm was broke. Just says a lot about him. And, what he's brought to our team this year. We call him like a safety. We call him a linebacker. He's a little bit of everything just because he's so versatile and what he's able to bring to our defense. So it'll be a big, adjustment for us as a defense. But we got guys that are, ready for that opportunity as well. I thought JD did a hell of a job coming in last week. I thought he played a really physical game if you watched the tape last week. And, he didn't flinch, so that was good to see.
Just you got here for Zach Harrison's rookie season in 23. How have you seen him kind of evolve over the last 3 years, 3 seasons?
Yeah, Zach's like he can play everything on the D-line, I think. He can play the edge, he can play a 3-tech. And I've seen him, coaches every single year, different, scheme, and he's been able to play it in. He's been able to play the 3-tech. Interior and still, have an impact on the game, whether it's the run game or even pass game. I think he's done a really good job where tight ends can't block him on the end. And then even when he's interior, he's done a really good job of getting some pressure. And I think he got about like 4 sacks. So you can just tell he's always been a professional coming from Ohio State, but I think he's really starting to figure it out. He's one of the first ones in the building and one of the last ones to leave the training room. So I think he's really figuring it out for sure. Excited for him.
Your first 2 seasons here, it's not really a secret that this team had a hard time getting to the quarterback, right? The pass rush was something that was, not as good as y'all would have wanted.
Yep.
This year, it's changed. This year, there's a lot of pressure. How much does that make life easier for you, y'all, on the back end to have that pressure up front?
Yeah, it's definitely a relief for us on the back end. When the quarterback has to get the ball out, where he doesn't, sit back there and hitch the ball a couple times and still have time to, complete a pass. I thought our guys are doing a really good job of rushing together, with the rush plan that we come up with every single week. Obviously, it has a lot to do with our scheme as well, with, just the mindset of them getting off the ball has been pretty cool to see. So, yeah, it's on the rise. It's still, I don't think they've even reached their potential yet, but it's been good to see the improvement for sure.
They put Wilder on IR yesterday. What's their tight end situation?
I know there was another guy who was, their starter behind Waller as well, who's out. I think they're pulling up some guys from the practice squad, but Waller was obviously a big part of their offense. He was almost like a like a receiver out there for them. So it'll be interesting to see who they elevate, and I'm pretty sure the guy that's on the practice squad, he's been a pretty good receiving tight end for years to come. So I'm sure he'll be excited for his opportunity, and they'll try to implement him a little bit more.
Looking at the pass rush, there's been 12 different players accredited with half a sack or more. How fun is it watching that group work and have so many guys contribute to this defense? I mean, 12 players, that's more than you put on the field at a single time.
Yeah, it's been good just to see the rotation of our D-line and, with the leadership of Flo out there and just telling the guys, like, hey, if I don't get it, you're going to get it. And to see them work together has been really cool to see. And it's like they just continue to get better at it. And it don't matter if it's, D-Lo or J-Walk or James, whoever it is, I think they have a really great understanding of what we want to do in our pressure packages. So it's pretty cool to see. Maybe I can be the 13th player. So.
Can you keep up with the rotation when you're watching? Guys are in and out.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a lot, on the back end. We just want to hear the coverage and be able to talk adjustments and stuff with the back end. And we just watch those guys get after the quarterback. So it's been good to see, like I said.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, y'all.
All right, appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks.
Start off with last week, disappointing loss, especially going on the road versus a tough conference opponent like the 49ers. Overall, we're always looking to try to, gain field position with our coverage units and return game. I still look at 2 plays where we put the ball on the ground, Agnew being more urgent to go catch that kickoff so we get more yards at the end of half. And then BP had a punt earlier in the game where he could take a little bit off of it so it's not a touchback. But what I am proud of the guys, we came back in that second half and created a spark with Agnew's big return. Give a credit to all those guys out on the field blocking to get Agnew free to come alive with the football, to get the ball past the 50, set up our touchdown in that game. And then those guys covering kicks and Bradley having a good pooch punt to put it inside the 5-yard line to give our defense great field position. So our guys are continuing to get better, to continue to work. I'm excited for today's practice for us to go out there and get better in all 4 phases. And look forward to the team that we're playing against this week. We got a tough challenge this week versus Miami. The coordinator there, Craig Ackerman, he actually was the first guy to give me my first job in the NFL, and I worked with him back in 2016 with the Chargers. He does a great job with the schemes. The guys play with great effort. They're a great reflection of their coach and how they play. They play sound football. They have 2 dynamic returners with Eskridge and Washington. So we got to be on high alert for those guys because those guys could pop big returns at any given moment when it comes to that. And then Jake Bailey does a great job flipping the field. And then obviously Riley Patterson is there as their kicker and field goal kicker. So it's a great challenge. We're going against a really good special teams unit. And I'll open it up to any questions.
Coach, you had the key blocks on that return. As you had talked last week about him getting on the other side of that seam. And I see that kind of what happened.
Yeah, on that return, give a lot of credit to all those guys. Hodge, Mike Ford on the outside, Felipe Franks did a great job playing the game penalty free. He was in a position where he possibly could have got a penalty, and he made a great block and did a great job shielding off the cover guys so that could free up Agnew. And those guys did a great job on double team. So, you can talk about Woods, you can talk about Charlie Warner, Tyler Algier, who hopped in once JD started playing more on defense. I always see Tyler Algier, he's a former linebacker too, and he obviously plays running back, but he's a core player for us that does a phenomenal job. Natron Brooks had a great block on that play. D'Angelo Malone, I could go on and on with those guys. And it's not just the ball carrier, it's the playmakers, those other 10 guys out there making those blocks D-led. So we continue to want to improve and get better and create a great field position and gain first downs for our offense.
We were, someone was listening to the 49ers radio call during the game.
Yes, sir.
And they mentioned on the call that in practice during the week, special teams practice drills, they had to know where number 4 was every time.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about him that they're keying on? They needed to know exactly where he was going to be every single special teams snap.
Well, that's great. I mean, all the credit to Hodge putting in a lot of work. You know, coming from an HBCU, not being drafted, working his way up, trying to make the roster with the Rams, and then, you know, popping from team to team, being on a bunch of 1 years, and then being able to get his first multi-year speaks a lot of credit to him because he put in a lot of work. And yes, he on the website, it lists him as a receiver, but we see him as just a football player. He can block kicks. He's rushing on field goal block. He does a great job covering. He's a receiver that could tackle, and he made one of the key blocks in return. But for teams to identify him, that's a huge respect to the work that he's put in, and that's pretty cool. And like the challenge is and he knows the challenge. He continues to work on each and every day, getting the guys around him better. I think he's in a stage of his career where he's still getting better, and yet he could make other people around him better. And he's a multiplier, so that's really cool to be a part of that and see him grow as a leader. On the field and off the field, and with his actions and vocally. So it's cool to see those guys go out there, make plays. He's excited when other guys make plays, and then you can see his team, like when he made that tackle the other night, just watch the energy from the sideline, the defense, when they hit the field. I always look at when we're making plays, offense, defense, special teams, how's that energy from the sideline? Because I think guys make a lot of money at this level, but the sense of pride and camaraderie and momentum is real when you play, and it's always that next down mentality. So when those guys are watching Red go out there and make plays, I love seeing the energy from the sideline and from the guys on the field when he makes impactful plays.
Now that he's been here for a while, how have you seen Parker Romo really settle in and kind of become a Falcon?
I mean, since day one, since he came into the building, we have a high standard for just him being a pro and becoming a Falcon. We welcome him in open arms. So all the specialists, all the players in the building, but he's getting better at just being locked into what he needs to do to help the team. And it's been cool to see him, because usually when you get into a new situation, it is uncomfortable, Taryn, right? But you can have faith in yourself and whatever, you got faith. And you could be comfortable, and that equals growth. But when you have faith and you're uncomfortable, that equals great growth. So I've seen him grow a lot because it has been uncomfortable since the day he got in here versus the week versus Minnesota till now. It hasn't, he just moved his family here, all those different dynamics. It's a new surrounding for him. And I've seen him grow a lot in a short amount of time. And he still has a lot of growing to do, a lot of improving to do. If you ask him, he wants to be the best, and he's working each and every day to be the best at what he does and help the team win ball games. So I'm excited for him. He had a great day yesterday, and I'm excited for him to, go out there these next 2 days, put together some good work so he could be prepared on Sunday.
Anything else? All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Oh.